Hello guys, welcome back, and today we'll be looking at how to install and set up Flutter with VS Code in Windows. So there will be a couple of steps involved. If you guys have installed already one of the contents in this, you can skip that. So first we'll be installing the Java Jdk, and then we will be installing Android Studio, and with Android Studio we'll be installing the SDK of Android, and then we come to Git. So basically, Git is a version control system. We need Git so that we can install Flutter through this command, and then later on we need a code editor, which is nothing but VS Code, and my personal favorite editor is VS Code, but you can also use Flutter with Android Studio, but I suggest you to go with Visual Studio Code as an editor. So let's get started. So first of all, we need to set up Java in our system. So if you guys have Java already installed, you can skip this step. So you can first go and check if you have Java already installed or not. So you can go to command prompt and type Java hyphen version. So it says Java is not recognized. So if this occurs in your system, then you do not have Java. So we will be installing Java first. If you have Java already, you can skip this step. So I'll leave the links in the description below so that you can directly go to them and download stuff. You can choose appropriate Windows version, 64-bit or 32-bit. Right now I'm using 64-bit version, so I'll click on this. I have already downloaded this, so I'll just open that up. So I have this. So it's JDK 14. So it has successfully installed. Then we can close, and if you go to CMD and type Java version, it won't work because we have not set the path. So to set the path, basically what you have to do is you have to go to the directory where you have installed Java Jdk, and you have to go to bin, and you have to copy this path over here into your environment variables. So to go to there, either you can just type in the search bar environment variables and you'll get that over here, or else you can even go to control panel and you can go to systems and security, and then system, advanced system settings, and over here you see this environment variables, so you can click on this. So you have to add a new path over here. Please note that you have to add in system variables, not in the user variables. So you have to click on the path. There will be already a couple of paths defined over here, more than two, but yeah, these are my previous paths, so I'll be adding a new one over here. Just click on new and paste the path which you have copied, and now you can hit enter. Okay, and you can press OK again. And now if you open a new CMD, and in this command prompt if you type Java hyphen version, sorry, a typo, I made a typo mistake. Okay, version. So this should give you the version. See, as you can see, it says Java 14. So we have successfully installed Java in Java SDK. Now we need to install Android SDK. So to do that, the easiest way is to download SDK through Android Studio. There's also a command line version, but that's a bit complex, so this would be easy. So go ahead and download Android Studio for your appropriate operating systems. I'll be showing the demo for Windows. So I have actually downloaded this. It's around 900 MB. So you better have a good internet connection and enough data pack so that there won't be any problem in between. And I have downloaded that over here. So it's already there. So I'll be installing this. So here we have the Android Studio setup, While installing, it will ask you if you want a virtual device. You can install a virtual device if you have good RAM, good amount of RAM, say more than 8 GB or 8 GB. If you have less than that, it's better you use your mobile phone in debugging mode, so that there will be a good performance and no lag issues. For now, I'll not install the virtual device and select a location for installation. I'll give it as a studio, the folder name. Okay, next install. So it will install all the dependencies and files of Android Studio. It will take some time. So here is the starting panel of Android Studio, and when this opens, you have to go to configure, and there will be SDK manager. So you have to click on that, and a new window will pop up. So here you have to install one of the SDKs. I have actually installed an SDK already. It was around 1 GB, so it will be around 1 GB. You can install any one of these. Better you install Android greater than 6.0, the version above Marshmallow, and you can select a location. Better not select C, because it's 1 GB and you'll keep getting updates. So yeah, you have to install. You can click on any one of these, and then it'll ask for apply. In my case, it's actually an update since I have already installed, but if you do not have any SDKs already installed, it'll install a new one, so you can go ahead and do that. So it'll tell the following will be installed, and it'll say 74 MB in this case since it's an update, but it'll probably be more in your case if you do not have an SDK. So it's updating the SDK for me, whereas if you are downloading a new one, it will download from the scratch. It will be around 500 to 1 GB depending upon which SDK you choose. Okay, so that took a while, but now it's done. Hope your SDK is also installed. So I'll click on finish. So now we have the SDK installed, so it should probably show installed, and it should also show the appropriate path for the SDK where you have installed. So after that you can click on OK, and now we are done with the Android Studio. So next up we have to download Git. So I won't get in depth in Git because it'll take another video for that, but basically you just have to have Git, and you can just copy paste one command to clone the whole project, like the Flutter project. So yeah, I have already downloaded it. So this is Git setup, so you can click on that. Here is the Git installer, and now you can just click on next. So you just have to do it forever, and you'll get the installation. Yeah, setup. So sorry. Okay, so it'll install Git. It'll take a few minutes. So it has installed Git for us. You can just go ahead and uncheck this and click on next. So now when you go to CMD, and if you say git ---- version, it should probably give you the version of Git. So Git has automatically set the path for us, and now so now comes the part where we run the clone command of Flutter through Git. So I'll just open a new folder. So here is the command for that. So basically it says git clone. If you're not familiar with Git, what it means is clone is one of the commands of Git. There are many other commands such as push, commit and stuff, so that all comes in Git. For now, just know that clone is similar to just downloading a zip file. It will automatically download the whole folder where the official Flutter project is there. So you just have to copy this over here and go to just create a new folder. Creating a new folder is not needed since it will automatically create one, but still you can go ahead and create one. Limit Flutter Sdk, and inside this you have to open the command prompt and now paste that line. So it's basically, it has started to clone and it'll download the whole project for us. So it has cloned Flutter for us. My bad, it was 109 MB. So okay, now what we have to do is if we write flutter -- version, it probably won't work because Flutter path has not been set. So we have to do that. So to do that, you go to the folder where you have downloaded that right now, the git clone, and inside that there will be a folder called as bin. So again the same thing, you have to copy this and go to environment variables. You just have to do the same thing like how we did for Java variable. You can go to environment variables and go to path and new and just paste it off. So it will get access to the Flutter batch file. Now you can click on OK. Basically it's this, and now if you open a command prompt and type flutter -- version, yes, you should probably see this. So it'll tell checking Dart SDK version. It'll take a bit of time because we are running it for the first time, and then now later on we'll be running a command called as Flutter Doctor. So basically what it does is, it's actually kind of a cool name which they have kept for the command, cause like a doctor, it'll just check for all the it'll just verify that we have all the required dependencies. So now it'll just download the complete Flutter engine which is needed. So basically I had told that it will be around 800 to 900 MB. So it had downloaded around 100 MB, and the remaining stuff will be downloaded over here. So I'll just pause the video and come back when the download has finished. So if you do it this way, you will get the latest version of the Flutter SDK. And there's also another version, there's also another way where you can download Flutter directly as a zip and extract it. But then, like they say, if you don't want to install a fixed version, then you can skip these steps, and you can directly clone the whole repository. So that's what we did right now. So it has installed Flutter completely, and now we can run all the Flutter commands. So first we'll be running Flutter Doctor just to see that everything is in place, all the dependencies whichever we want. So these are the basic dependencies. It will install by itself whichever it sees missing. So our main goal of this is to check if we have properly set up our SDK as well as Java Jdk, Android Sdk and Java Jdk. So it will give us a report, and it will probably say that there is a virtual device missing. If you had installed virtual device with Android Studio, then well and good. If not, you can use your phone in debugging mode, like USB debugging. Just check how to enable USB debugging in your mobile phone, and you can connect your system with an USB cable with your mobile phone, so that it will automatically detect, the VS Code will automatically detect your mobile phone, and you can test your apps over there. So meanwhile, when this is upgrading, like it's downloading small dependencies, we can go ahead and install Visual Studio Code. So if you already have Visual Studio Code, then well and good. If not, just go ahead to this link. I'll drop it down in the description, and you can download the appropriate variant for your system. I have a 64-bit Windows, so I have already downloaded it over here. So I'll be installing that. And this is the setup for VS Code. So you can just go ahead and accept, and you can again select a destination for that. and go ahead and so there's also something called as add to path. So you might be thinking, why does VS Code need a path? I'll come to that later. So there's a command called as code space dot. So if you do this, it will automatically open VS Code in an appropriate folder. I'll demonstrate that later. So for now, just click on install, and this will install VS Code for us. Meanwhile, Flutter Doctor is also running. So it has installed VS Code for us. You can go ahead and give launch VS Code. So in VS Code, we'll have to download two extensions. Extensions are basically external packages which you can download to VS Code so that you'll get more control over whichever you want. Like, say for example, if you're doing Python programs, you can download a Python extension, right? So similar way, we have Flutter extension for VS Code, so we'll have to download that. And also Dart, as we know, Dart is the language for Flutter, so you'll have to download two extensions. So this is VS Code editor. So I'll just close this and we can minimize this until our Flutter Doctor completes. So it's almost done. So now it says, as you can see, there's one test case passed. I mean, one of the cases I have passed, that is Flutter. So it has successfully detected Flutter installed in our system, and it's necessary that you get a tick mark over here as well as a tick mark for Android Sdk. So make sure that you have those, or else you have done something wrong. So go back and follow the steps, and you'll have to do it once again. So it has given us a report. So it says Flutter has been installed and it has successfully detected SDK version 29, which I had updated previously. And for you guys, you might have installed those who didn't have one. There are some X marks over here, because that's what I was telling. So there's a need of Flutter plugin and Dart plugin, which we'll be installing right away. And also says it says one connected device, since I have my phone plugged in. And there is USB debugging on. For you, it might, if you do not have one, it might say no devices found or something. So that's not an issue. So basically you just have to have this detected and the Flutter tick mark over here. Let's go ahead and install extensions. So you have to click over here and search for two extensions. First one will be Flutter. So the first one over here, it has 1.7 million stars. So that I have it installed. So it says uninstall for you guys. It might say install. So go ahead and click that install button. And one more is Dart. I don't know why it's saying uninstall. I had uninstalled it previously, so I'll just go ahead and install it again. And one more is Dart. So it's telling us the same thing for me, but you guys just go ahead and okay. So it has already installed. It says Flutter depends on Dart, so I cannot uninstall Dart. First I had to install Dart. It's fine, I have both of them, so you can just install those two. And as you can see, I have Flutter as well as the Dart extension with the Dart extension. Okay, give me a minute. So first we'll have so the order would be, first we have to install Dart and then install Flutter, right? So we have to do that first. So as soon as this installs, you can go ahead and install Flutter. So you'll have both of them, and once you have them, it should appear over here. So as you can see, enabled section, this Dart and Flutter. So you're good to go with VS Code as well as Flutter. So all you have to do is create a new project. So to do that, I'll just show a demo over here. I'll just make a new folder for now. Say for example, my projects. And inside that, you can just open. So this is what I told when there was a special command called as, you can open a command prompt, and in command prompt there's something called as code dot. So this came from the previously when we were installing VS Code, it has asked for a path, and I was telling you might be wondering why it needs a path, so it was for this. So when you click enter, it directly opens the whole project, but we don't have anything in this, so it opened an empty folder. But before this you can just go ahead and do flutter create 1 second. So here you can do flutter create. So these are the Flutter commands which you can execute, right? Flutter create, you can give -- Android X. So then later on the Android X is for those are Android X dependencies will be included, and later on you can give project name, just say project 1 or something. So this should actually create a new Flutter project. If there are any improper typos in the project name, it will just tell you. So it has already included all the dependencies and it says all done. So it should create a project right now. Yes, it's done. So it says you can cd, you can navigate to that directory and you can do flutter run, but we will just open that. So you go to that folder, again type cmd, and in command prompt you just do code dot, which is a beautiful command which directly opens the whole folder in your VS Code. So you have it over here, and now when you go to lib, so this is the main.dart file, right, the entry point for our Flutter project. So here you have it, and it says you can update Dart. So whenever a new Flutter version, stable version or Dart version has been released, you can directly update it from VS Code. And over here there's something called as a terminal, where you'll get new terminal access, and then there is run over here. So when you run, you'll get it over here, the debug console. So basically you just go run and start debug, so it will start debugging. In mine I have a phone plugged in externally, so it will be launching in that, but in yours, if you have an emulator, it will detect an emulator, or else you can also plug in a phone. So yes, it says launching in Moto G5 Plus in debug mode, so it works. That's it for this video, guys. Hopefully you have successfully installed Flutter and VS Code. So if you have any doubts or problems, leave them down in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed and installed Flutter successfully, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.